how to use them. Let's get started with the first idiom. On the mend. On the mend. What does that mean? Someone who is on the mend is recovering after an illness or injury. Okay? Sentence. My grandmother hasn't been very well lately, but she's on the mend now. On a sticky wicket. If you find yourself on a sticky wicket, you are in a situation that is difficult to deal with. Here's the sentence. They've refused to sign the contract, so we are on a sticky wicket now. We don't know what to do. The apple of your eye. Now this is in reference to a person. Okay, usually hi, there's so much that goes on in a day. We are barely left with time to learn, and we all want to be perfect in English. So here is a small class for you. I'm going to take up 25 idioms and I will also teach this. That's what you do in the interviews, right? Okay, so at the beginning of the interview, the candidate was shaking like a leaf. Take down a peg. If you take someone down a peg, you make that person realize that they are not as important as they think they are. I hope you don't think like that about me. So here's the sentence. He was too proud. Somebody had to take him down a peg. Shopping therapy. I'm sure you've heard of this one. This term refers to the idea that buying things can make you feel better, which they actually do sometimes. A little shopping therapy can usually cheer up bored teenagers. Jump down someone's throat. Jump down someone's throat. Now, apple of your eye is someone whom you have great affection for. My grandson is the apple of my eye. Shake like a leaf. If you shake like a leaf, you tremble with fear or nervous. Refers to a person who is very knowledgeable about a lot of subjects. Okay, my grandfather was actually a walking encyclopedia. No, this is not a sentence. I'm actually telling this to you about him. He was a walking encyclopedia. He was too much to newspapers and all. Add fuel to the flames. Aag mein ghee dalna. If you add fuel to the flames, you do or say something that makes a difficult situation even worse. Okay, he forgot wedding anniversary and his apologies only added fuel to the flames. Other fish to fry. If you have other fish to fry, you have more important things to do. I don't think he will attend the office party. If someone jumps down another person's throat, they suddenly start shouting at them in a very angry manner. When I said the instructions were not very clear, she jumped down my throat. Walking encyclopedia. This term dumb as an oyster. Somebody who is as dumb as an oyster will never reveal something told in confidence or tell your secret to anyone else. Preeta will never repeat what you tell her. She's as dumb as an oyster. Sublime to ridiculous. Very interesting one. If something goes from sublime to ridiculous, it deteriorates in quality from serious to absurd or admirable to unimportant. Okay, so something that goes from very good to very bad or very serious to absolutely nonsense, stupid in a short period of time, that is going sublime to ridiculous. Okay, so something like an opera, fish to fry. Smash hit. Smash hit is a very successful performance in music, films, theatre, etc. Okay, the film Titanic was a smash hit all over the world. From the word go, he was rejected by the rest of the group. Push your luck. You must have heard of this phrase, don't push your luck. So if you try to get more than what you already have obtained and you risk spoiling the situation, you risk spoiling everything. That is pushing your luck. You've got your father's permission to go to the concert. Don't push your luck by trying to borrow his car. Silver lining. A silver lining refers to good or pleasant side effects of an unpleasant situation. Burai mein bhi achhai dekhna. Every cloud has a silver lining means that there is a positive or hopeful side to every unpleasant situation. The tide has turned. When a trend followed by Mr. Muscle Contest is going from sublime to ridiculous. From the word go. The expression from the word go means from the very beginning of an activity. Very beginning. Right. Okay, we are all exhausted, so let's call it quits for today. Roll up your sleeves. When you roll up your sleeves, you get ready for the hard work. The house was in a mess after the party, so we had to roll up our sleeves and changed from one thing to another. The tide has turned. Something like earlier, people looked for jobs someplace close to their house. Now the tide has turned. Now people look for jobs abroad. Glass ceiling. Now, this is a very good one you must know. The term refers to a discriminatory barrier perceived by women and minorities that prevents them from rising to positions of power or responsibility. Something like Kritika believed she would never break the glass ceiling and rise to a senior management position. Call it quits. Now, this is a very good one, very commonly used. When people temporarily stop doing something or put an end to an activity, they call it quits. Cleaning. Know which way the wind is blowing. Hawaon ka rukh. This expression means that it is advisable to know how the situation is developing in order to be better prepared for any changes. Before we decide on anything, we need to know which way the wind is blowing. Crack down on something. If the authorities crack down on something, they enforce the law by taking severe measures to restrict undesirable or criminal actions. To reduce road accidents, it was decided to crack down on speeding. In retrospect, again, very commonly used. The term in retrospect is used when thinking about a past situation or event with the knowledge that you have today, particularly if your present opinion is different from the one you had in the past. Okay, your current opinion is different from your past opinion. In retrospect, we were not aware of the effects on the environment at that time. You can't judge a book by its cover. Common. This expression means that you should not form an opinion about something from its appearance alone. He leads a very simple life, but in fact, he's a wealthy man. You can't judge a book by its cover. Send up a trial balloon. If you test something such as an idea, a project, or a product to see how people will respond to it, you send up a trial balloon. The idea seemed excellent, but when they sent up a trial balloon, the reaction was very negative.